So, how long is it going to be before we see the Sussex invisible children or some realistic copies being paraded around for financial gain? See, personally, I suspect it's never going to happen. The rented children's parents hopefully understand that taking money to lie about their own kids being somebody else's kids is way too risky and way too unethical. And also, we're wondering, are they under an NDA order? Probably so. We are certain that no DNA test was ever performed on Archofficial or Meghan. Now, rumor is Harry had to have a DNA test, and it came back that it wasn't his child. And then another test was performed where the child was his. And then there's another story claiming that Harry never did a DNA test. What is the truth in all this? Well, who knows? I'm sure you all remember the polo match where Meghan came with the new baby, and Harry basically ordered her to leave. There's also a photo of a couple staring at the baby with just amazement in their faces, and no other member of the royal family wanted to come near her. And that was when she had to deal with all that criticism for the way she was carrying the baby. Rumor has it that Archofficial's real parents are British. They're from the UK, and that's where he is. And they just rent other children to act like they're Archie in the US. And as for Invisibet, well, apparently they rented her from the UK. There isn't a single picture of Invisibet in the US other than that parade. And that was a really strange photo anyway. Up close, Meghan had a mustache, and nobody was even looking at Archofficial. I've also read they did the rent a child scam in Africa. Those photos were staged. It is pretty difficult to have a couple of kids after a hysterectomy, right, Megan? And that's why, after the bullying, after the whispers behind her back, they decided they had to leave. Because how can you claim that you have children living within the royal residence and nobody ever sees them? I don't think this is going to be able to damage the royals long term, but Charles needs to make sure he gets them off their website. Apparently, the super injunction is what is keeping the royals quiet. And until they actually see Meghan's signature on divorce papers, they're going to have to remain silent. Most people can see, though, there is something sketchy about the invisible children. And as time goes on, it's going to become more difficult to hide these made up children's non existence. Really, when you think about it, this whole scheme is incredibly stupid. But again, Meghan and Harry are a couple of idiots, so of course they would come up with a ridiculous idea like this. I mean, this is the couple who came up with the near catastrophic car chase story in New York traffic, right? It was just like Harry's mommy's high speed chase through the Alma Tunnel in Paris with a drunken driver and no seatbelt. I mean, come on, it's about as real as Meghan's pregnancies are. All a bunch of nonsense coming from the Montecito malcontents. I'm getting fed up with all the subterfuge, though. I mean, any person with a bit of common sense can figure out what is going on here. The plan created in Soho House by globalists to try to destroy the royal family in the UK. These fools really should have consulted the general public of Britain before putting this into play, because now it's just becoming the same old nonsense. People are getting sick of it. It's really pitiful how they just won't give up. Then there was that photo with Meghan on the beach with Archie. Well, plenty of people pointed out that was not Meghan and Archie at all. It was Meghan's friend Bryn and her son Gavin. Bryn didn't say a thing, and she's continued to stay silent. What kind of mother does that? Now, she's a CNN woman. She really only had to call. And what about the photo that's supposed to be Meghan and Elizabeth on the 4th of July? Well, that was confirmed as being outside the San Isidro Ranch. It looks like a Photoshop of Jack Brooksbanks and his child, if you ask me. Now, how could that possibly be acceptable? If at some point Meghan tries to say, oh, I never actually said they were Archie and Lily, that's not going to work at all. Let's think about how many times she has come back in other press reports. Meghan knew exactly what she was doing. Just remember how Meghan and Harry released that statement within minutes of the late Queen's about the use of the word royal and service being universal. Meghan does not understand, though. She is in way over her head. I mean, we're supposed to believe that she would let something as important as her own kids go without comment? No, Meghan, we're not that dumb. And if she tries to say that she used those rental children because she was trying to protect the identity of Archofficial and Elizabeth, in some ways that is even worse. So what? She doesn't care about how this affects the children, Hartford and Elizabeth? They're just disposable because they're children. It's not her problem. How does she think that's going to make her look better? Meghan and Harry are the scum of the earth and they need to be dealt with. It's time to expose the truth about those two and clear out all the evil. I think probably in a court of law, when Gavin and Hartford sue their mothers and everybody involved in this for allowing their images to be passed off as Archie and Elizabeth, that's when we'll finally see the truth come out. I feel so bad for those children. I mean, their whole lives are going to be tainted by this. The children who were put in the British line of succession and had no right to be there. Just because there weren't any names written across the photos released by Meghan and Harry's sites, that doesn't mean a thing. The implication was clearly there because of a text like Lily's birthday. Of course, we were going to assume it was Lily. They can't act like they were just holding a random baby and we came to our own conclusions. If we learned that it was true that Meghan was using other people's kids, pretending they were Archie and Lilibet to protect them, then what she's doing is putting those other kids in possible danger. I'm going to be shocked if it turns out that Meghan and Harry have their own kids. There's just way too much about the existence of those children that doesn't make sense. Toddlers cannot sign contracts. I mean, even stunt doubles do get credited by name. The mothers need to understand they made a mistake allowing their children to be used by Meghan and Harry. There is no way they don't know what has been published numerous times. Interfering in the British line of succession is also a crime, and it's a very serious crime. And they're going to find out the truth. NDAs don't mean a thing when a crime has been committed. In fact, that would be considered colluding with the perpetrators. I think selling your own children as rented kids is a disgusting form of child abuse. At least now we haven't seen Gavin playing Archie for a while, and Elizabeth, well, she's just disappeared since her supposed first birthday at Frogmore and playing with the late queen on the carpet. And honestly, why did they think this was ever going to work? As the invisible dolls grow up, of course the truth is going to come out. Now, it's pretty easy to hide a baby, but once they start to be elementary school age, the jig is up. And of course, Gavin could make a great living pretending to be Archie. One day, is a teenager going to show up demanding money from Harry and Meghan claiming to be their child? This charade has to come to an end soon, though. I don't see how it can go on for much longer. The people of Britain and the Commonwealth are not idiots, and those laws exist for good reasons. It's such a slap in the face to the people of Britain to continue this. I mean, come on. If the royal family cannot be trusted, well, maybe their privileges need to be reassessed, including state payments from taxpayers. If the royal family expects to continue to be supported by the citizens, they need to be honest with the citizens about exactly what they're supporting. Honestly, I don't understand why Harry and Meghan have not been charged with high treason, because interfering with the line of succession is exactly that. And as for Meghan and Harry's invisible children being paraded for money, or any kind of gains for that matter, that is not an option. According to some other commentators, Archie and Lilibet are real, but they're so messed up. They're so withdrawn, they don't even know how to interact with other people. And people claim that Archie is suffering from some type of developmental delay. He's way behind for his age. Well, if this is true, it needs to be investigated. I mean, that's really worrisome. And it's probably connected to at least one parent being a narcissist. I still suspect that Meghan's going to stage a kidnapping for the fake kids. She thought she left them at home, full of milkshakes. She thought they were living there. Meghan is going to encourage people to donate a lot of money to find them. And you know she's going to squeeze that one crocodile tear out of her left eye. She's going to say that she and Harry simply don't have the money for ransom, so people have to help. They need to donate all of their hard earned money. Or Meghan will accuse the royal family of being the kidnappers. They just couldn't stand those kids living in the US, so they came and took them away. And you know Meghan is going to demand money as much as she possibly can. It is a sick idea, I know, but then again, Meghan is absolutely full of sick ideas. And you, do you agree with me? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is useful, don't be afraid to like and share it with anyone else who would enjoy it anytime you want. And please subscribe to Kate Middleton the Queen channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you all tomorrow.